So as I was discussing, sorry for the interruptions. Okay. So as I was discussing, the secondary name node is going to periodically download the FG image, and it is going to edit the files. Okay. And it will combine such files, and it is going to convert and make into FG image, which is going to use to upload the new FG images to the file. Okay. So what is the work of the secondary node? Secondary node is basically used for the purpose of checkpoint. Means it's keep on checking any changes in the name node is going to be recorded. Okay. So what is the basic features of the SDFS? SDFS uses a master slave model, which you already know. That is nothing but it is going to have a name node and a data node. Okay. And it is going to use SDFS provides a single namespace. Okay. And it is going to use to help for the data redundancy. Means what is the meaning of data redundancy? It is nothing but multiple number of the data. Okay. And the secondary node work is to perform checkpoints. And you know what is the meaning of a checkpoint? The main meaning of a checkpoint is, what's the main meaning of a checkpoint? The main meaning of the checkpoint is to check whether any edit is happened or not with respect to that of the name. Okay. Guys, that was our telling, where to read and write the data in case of this transaction in SDFS file. Okay. As I told you, client is never going to interact directly. You can see here, client is never going to interact directly with the data node. Okay. For the purpose, first communication is going to take place between the client and the name node. Okay. Once the communication is going to take place between the client and the name node, then what it will do, name node is going to interact with the data node. People know it is going to send the information in terms of a blocks. Okay. So that is nothing but people can call it as a read and write operation. Okay. So once it is going to send back the information, okay, to the name node, yes, we are holding the data, then the communication is going to become direct between the client and the data node. But the main means of the communication is nothing but the name node. Okay. First, the client will send the information to the name node. Okay. Then the name node is then the data node is going to interact with the name node. Then the name node will tell the client use this nodes. Means which are the nodes which is holding my information. It is going to be communicated to the name node. Okay. So I told you now what is the purpose of a secondary node. The secondary node is going to act like a checkpoint. Okay. Or even we are going to call it as a backup node where read and write operation is going to take place, and this is the basic way in which the information is going to be circulated in terms of a SDFS data with respect to name node, secondary node, data node, and very important, client. So directly there is no direct communication between the client and the data node. We are going to involve the name node. Name node is going to identify the data nodes. Then it is going to inform the client that you can use such kind of the data. Then the process is going to take place. This is how the things works in case of this SDFS data. Okay. So coming back, SDFS block replication. Guys, replication is a very important concept. Why I am telling the replication is very important concept, because okay, if for example the failure is going to happen, we need to recover very fast, because the client cannot wait for more amount of a time to hold such data. So as mentioned, okay, when SDFS writes a file, it replicates across the cluster, means it's keep on replicating its data. Then how the replication takes place, that's a very important. For every one data node, there may be a replication node. No, that is not a criteria. If your system consists of more than 8 data nodes, then you are going to have the replication value of 3. Okay, so this is very important. Listen, if your system consists of more than 8 nodes, then the replication value is going to be in terms of factor of 3. In the same case, if your data node is less than 8 or more than 1, then the replication factor is 2. This is how the basic replication things going to work in case of a data node. Okay. So as I told you guys already, the block size is always of 64 MB, which is going to be periodically revised. Okay. And it is going to send the information to the black node. Okay. So next coming back to again the same SDFS block replications. it is not exactly as going to implement some logic for partitioning of the blocks. It is very very clear that it is not going to apply any splits. You know splits, what is the meaning of splits? Let me explain you very clearly what is the meaning of a splits means. If you are going to consider this as a data, okay, so it is of size say some 200 MB, okay, 200 MB. It is not going to apply any logic, okay, it is not going to apply any logic to divide the data in terms of a blocks. Instead of applying any logical part, it is going to take the basic thing as size. Okay, so already I told you the standard size for any blocks is nothing but how many MB? 64 MB. It is going to make the blocks of 64 MB, and then it is going to circulate among the data nodes. And who is going to decide which block should go to which data node? It is nothing but the one and only name node, because the name node is nothing but it is a master node which is going to decide which block should go to which data node. That is nothing but called as a name node. Okay, so this is how the things, basically the agenda of telling here is nothing but how the data is going to be basically divided. Okay, it is basically divided. Okay, wait, time is running out. Okay, fine. Oh, too fast it is. Fine. Okay, we'll conclude with the next HDFS block application. Okay, guys, only one topic left. I'm going to conclude it. So HDFS blocks are based on sizes. Okay, not on the any kind of a splits or logical partitioning of the data. Okay, so this is very very important. Now if people can see here, I am having how many data nodes? Basically, I am having 8 data nodes, right? So when I say 8 data nodes, the replication is factor of 3. People can see one. People can see here one. Okay, 2, 3, factor of 3. The block number 1 is replicated for 3 times. Why it is replicated for 3 times? Since it is a system of where the data node is of size 8. Okay, and each data file is of 64 MB. People can see 3, 1, 2, 3. Replication factor of 3. People can see 4, 1, 2, 4. People can see 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Means what is the main idea behind telling is this is nothing but, okay, so whenever you are having a 8 data nodes or more than 8 data nodes, the factor of replication is 3. Are you guys understanding? The factor of replication is 3. And when we are having less than 3, the factor of node will be 2. Okay, so is I'm having some time. Okay, let me see what this Zoom will do, but I will carry on with this one more topic. Okay, SDFS safe mode. So what is this SDFS safe mode? Means whenever you are having a data, you should keep the replication of the data. That is nothing but called as SDFS in a safe mode. Means it is the blocks, whatever the blocks is nothing but, it is nothing but that blocks are going to enter only in read only mode. That is nothing but we are going to call it as a safe mode. So where blocks cannot be replicated or deleted. Okay, that is nothing but called as a safe mode, where the blocks of yours is cannot be replicated or deleted. Safe mode enables the name node to perform two processes. People already know which are the two processes. One is for developing of a FS image by using FG images. That is nothing but what the edit operation takes place on the name node, and nothing but it is going to help you to mapping between the blocks, and the data node is created waiting for the data nodes. Okay, so with this we are going to have one more concept, that is nothing but called as rack awareness. Okay, so you people know when we are having huge amount of data, we are going to store the data in terms of racks. Okay, so basically rack awareness deals with data locality, okay, where the data is going to be stored. Okay, people remember, if let me show you again here. Okay, let me show you again here. If this is a big server, okay, if this is a big server, for example, which is the server you see in the college. Okay, now if I divide these servers in terms of racks, people can see, this is one rack. Okay, this is one more rack. like this. On this racks, the information is going to be stored. Okay, on this racks, the information is going to be stored. Okay, so even this Hadoop is going to use such a concept for the hardware basis. Okay, to store the information over the racks. And here instead of, as I told you in the first class, if you remember, whenever the requirements come, we are not going to switch the servers, we are going to improve the computation power, because improving a computation is less computation. You understand what is the meaning of computation? The power to work. Okay, instead of increasing a memory, if you increase a computation power, that is sufficient. Okay, so these are the things goes. If you improve the memory, if you doesn't change the memory, it is not important. You should improve the computation power. Okay, so yeah, okay, fine. So let me finish with this particular one PPT. Okay, we are going to continue tomorrow. Okay, Hadoop cluster exhibits three levels of data locality. One is the data resides on local machine, means the same machine which is holding the data. One more is the data resides in the same rack. Okay, if this is one rack, this is rack 2, the data is going to reside into the same rack, or the data resides in a different rack. This may be a rack 1 and this may be a rack 2. Okay, so guys, we are going to wind up today's class. Kindly send me the feedback to my WhatsApp number if you're feeling any problems. Okay, and the second thing is, only this is a trial version what we are using at present. Higher versions are using for higher lower semesters. Okay, so we can only do maximum 40 to 45 minutes one particular class. Is there any problems, any suggestions? Kindly send me to my WhatsApp number. Okay, so we are going to again create a meeting, and I'm going to call you for tomorrow's class. Okay, until then,